Hello everyone. Decided to do a video today, take a break, and this is kind of like, talking about my issues, helps relieve stress, so that's what I decided to do. I did decide to stay in my scarf and my sweats and my slippers and t-shirt, and I have absolutely no interest in being in front of the camera. So I just decided to focus on something. I had to have something to show on the screen. So this is a mobile that I made last summer, and it's not anything great. It was actually constructed of felt and little pom-poms. So I'm dealing with a lot right now. I get the feeling that I don't really have a lot of cooperation with people. I realize that where I'm living right now is not comfortable. It's not a good area for me. I'm dealing with my issues of leaving an employer and then having all kinds of drama follow me, and then, following the rules to a T, and then somehow or another people are trying to force me out of my profession that I've been in for 18 years. So, I realize that this town that I live in is not exactly accepting of my kind. So I am desperately trying to find employment somewhere else. And so I need assistance. I can't give up my career goals because I don't know anything else. All I know is accounting. I don't know anything else. I've been in accounting since 1997, and that's all I've done. Now, I've done certain jobs, but even the jobs that I have done involved accounting. So I have absolutely no idea what these people expect me to do. I have done everything I could. I've been as cooperative as I can. It's one thing to blacklist somebody in their community, but to try to blacklist them everywhere is just absolutely ridiculous. So, I've been calling some of the agencies. I'm trying to just pick up where I left off. And, I still feel as though there's some animosity there. And there's reasons why I don't, and the reasons for it are completely unjustified. I don't know why so many people have so much opposition to my goals. It's not that everybody needs to work. Everybody needs to have, I'm not materialistic, but everybody has to cover their basic needs. They need to be able to have a roof over their head. They need to be able to have food, shelter, the basics. And when you're barely making enough to get by, you want to improve your lot in life, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's normal, okay? That's what people do. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm being treated like I don't have the right to do that. Now, I don't want people manipulating my employment. And that's not to say, that I'm not grateful for having some sort of provisions or anything. But, the fact of the matter is, in every situation I'm dealing with toxic environments. I'm dealing with people who have less than friendly behaviors towards me. They're very condescending and that sort of thing. So I'm being set up in toxic environments that are not comfortable for me. And so, I'm just basically wanting to live a very simple life. And that's all I ever wanted to do since I moved here. I wanted to get a decent job, live a very quiet life, and a very peaceful life, with me and my husband. And, we're not complex people. I mean, we're very basic people, and we like life very simple. And I personally think that my career aspirations are not unrealistic. They're not demanding either. I mean, it would be different if I was demanding of a job that paid, 6 figures. Do I think I have what it takes to cover a 6-figure job? Yes, I do. I do believe that I have what it takes to run an entire operation, okay? If they're forcing me out of management, I think that's a big mistake. But, I'm willing to do bookkeeping jobs. I have the experience. So I believe that it is my right. I mean, it's on paper. I mean, this is the law. I mean, I have the right to pursue whatever goals I want to. And when I have people obstructing my path, I don't understand why. Because all the issues that get brought up to me or presented to me, that have been presented to me in the workplace, or sometimes just out of the blue, out in public, all these issues are against the law. They're all subjective, and they're not decisions that should be or things that should be used in an employment situation. So I'm left confused. You know, I don't understand. I absolutely have no idea. I have thought about it. I have you know, tried to analyze the situation as many times as I can, and I just can't come up with any answers. I'm confused. I'm baffled. You know, and some people would say, you know, I've spoke with my mother, which I will be calling her later on this week, but I did talk to my mother a while about this, and you know, her attitude was like, well, just go find something. Okay, I'm going to tell you what. When I was younger, I worked fast food for a while, okay? I was in everybody's way. I was clumsy. It's not something that I can handle, okay? I am not a customer service person. That's the job that they set up with for me the last time. That was a horrible experience, and a lot of it was the fact that, you know, I realized that some of the people were perpetrators. They were the people that I had somehow known through another person or whatever, and I didn't ask for the job in the first place, and it was a very depressing situation for me. I mean, it was really, really bad. I really wanted to just go and cry. I really just did. And, you know, I'm the kind of person who feels comfortable, you know, behind a computer in an enclosed space and working. That's what I like to do. And I don't want to work with the large amount of people, especially after being targeted. That's a really bad situation for me to be put in. And I'm already, the behavior that has been exhibited towards me, I have already developed a lot of social anxiety over this issue. And this is something that should have never happened. And it is affecting me, you know, quite badly. So no, I don't want to be out in a public area, like, for example, working retail, waiting on customers that basically treated me like crap, and I'm supposed to sit here and interact with people in public. I mean, why would I do that? So I feel like the collective is a little insensitive. They don't really think about the situations that they put me in that I never asked to be in. Like I said, once I leave a person's place of employ, I have the right to walk off and do whatever I want. I don't recall having any warm, fuzzy friendships with these employers that I was set up with. You know, I wanted to keep the relationship professional, and I never really made any waves. I just left. You know, I don't know. I mean, and I think I did leave on good terms. So I don't understand what the attack is. I don't understand why. You know, I will never understand why. And I don't have any other skills other than accounting, general administrative type work. And to put me in a situation that's causing this anxiety it's illegal, first of all. But it is it's extremely frustrating. You know, my life is a very simple one, and I'm very glad that it is. And, you know, all I really care about is, you know, finding a decent job, having that sort of, there's nothing really stable in this world. But, you know, I enjoy my life with Joel. I enjoy living with him. I love being with him. And, you know, there's not a lot of people that I click with, and I do click very well with him, and I enjoy my life with him. And, you know, he pretty much is the only person that I really have in my life. And, you know, I'm hoping that if I get a chance to move, I can meet, you know, other women and I can connect with them and enjoy, you know, basic friendships, well-rounded friendships. But, you know, these are the things that I want in my life. And that's what I enjoy. You know, I don't, everyone that I have met, that I've come in contact with, that has been associated with the collective, to me have been all, it's just been a very terrifying experience. Let's just put it that way. It's been a terrifying experience. It has made me sick to my stomach. And it is very important for me to be able to build my life somewhere else. It just is. I mean, you know, I'm in an environment that I'm being punished for something that I don't fully understand, and to continually, you know, persecute me. And I understand, you know, this is a different community, and I am not going to expect people to change their personal beliefs just for little old me. Okay, so I'm trying to make reasonable accommodations. I feel as though, my past employers who participated in this need to do the right thing, and of course I left on good terms, so I deserve a good reference if somebody's to call them. But I just want to get on with my life. I don't want to have to be here anymore. I don't want to have to deal with it. I don't want to have to deal with the weird smirks, the what I consider to be customer service that when people waiting on me at stores, there has been some really nice people who've realized that this is not right, and they have treated me nicely, but there are some people who just are going to be whatever they're going to be. So, and I don't really want to deal with this anymore. I really don't. So I need assistance trying to relocate. I need to be able to find another job, and I don't want to stop and change my field. There's no reason for me to change my field after 18 years of accounting. I don't ever want to do that. And there really shouldn't be any reason for me to. It would be different if I was saying, you know what, I need to apply for the same positions that, I don't know, like a CFO, okay? Now, I'm not going to do that. I don't have a 4-year degree. Now, I've known several people who held titles like that and even higher without a 4-year degree, okay? Somehow or another, in this town, I'm being held at a different standard. I know several people who have less education than I do who hold nice titles, nice positions. They have all their material things met, and nobody ever seems to complain about them. But I'm being held at a different standard, and I think we all know what that means. So, it's not fair, I have the right to enjoy the company of people that I choose, okay? I would never choose anybody to hang out with, to associate with, that was a part of the collective group, okay? The collective group represents to me a bunch of people who infantizes me, and then also takes away my rights and forces their own opinions on me that I don't want to deal with. I don't want to deal with any of that. And none of it has been a very pleasant experience. If a person is dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder, if a person has fear and anxiety, these are the kind of individuals that are causing it, and they're not healthy. It's not healthy for me to have anything to do with the collective at all. I want nothing to do with them. I think it's a very strange, very odd, and unusual behavior that is being exhibited, but I'm doing everything I can to be cooperative, and I'm hoping that people are cooperating with me. So whoever is the orchestrator, and I have my ideas. I know my family's behind it, but I know that there are some employers that just got a little too enthusiastic about this. I think they need to see the to each his own, okay? And some people may not necessarily agree with other people's lifestyle. I don't think I have anything going on in my lifestyle that people would disagree with. Okay, because the only thing that I do in my life is pretty much go to work and come home. Okay, and that's exactly what I plan on to do if I'm able to get out of this mess. I want to go on and just live my life. I'm tired of living in this community. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of living in this community. I'm tired of it. I mean, I like the history of this town. I mean, it's interesting. I like the old buildings, and there's a lot of interesting things to look at. But in order for me to have a really enjoyable life, I have to be able to get out of this town. And I need to be able to start all over again. And I should have the right to do that. I don't think anybody would want to be in a situation like this. And I expect full support by the collective to help me move on. It's not fair that they stifled me, basically put me in the financial situation that I'm in, and then, just let me loose and say, and wash their hands of it. No, this is not a good idea. It's not a good idea at all, especially when I've made all kinds of effort to get out of this situation. Like, I had, went on job interviews that led to nowhere. I put out, I'm going to say probably at least a few thousand, about 1,000. I would say 1,000. Resumes, okay, based on what I have on my flash drives and what I have stacked on my floor. Okay, I have done everything I could to be independent on my own and search for employment. And this is not a good thing. These people have stifled me. And you know what? The only person I really want in my life at this moment would be, my husband and my son and my mother. I don't really want to be in a connection with anyone else. I did change my LinkedIn page. I got a new LinkedIn account because I felt as though everyone that was on my LinkedIn account were people who really didn't know me. And the ones who did know me probably knew a lot of BS about me and wanted to connect with me, but not really be a functional or assistance to me. And that's no good for me. I need to be able to develop positive work relationships that are beneficial to me and that flow well, and that's important to me, and I deserve that. And so, I have no reason. There is no reason for me to, look for work in another field. If this town, and I don't even say the name of the town, okay, people can figure that out themselves, okay? I have been mindful and respectful to as much as I possibly can, okay? If people can figure that out, whatever. But I have been mindful and respectful to the collective throughout this entire process. They owe it to me. They owe it to me to let me move on. They owe it to me to stop obstructing me. They owe it to me to call all the temporary agencies and say, we need to stop this because I have every right to be serviced. I have every right to have assistance. Like I just called a girl that I didn't want to work with. She screwed me over last summer, and, I'm being referred to her again, okay? I don't want to rely on things like accounting agencies or anything like that, okay? I would like to prefer to have networks too. But, when you've been mobbed out of your job, okay, when you go on Facebook and your so-called quote-unquote bullshit friends really aren't acting the same way towards you as they used to, you realize that you don't have any more contacts. So the only recourse that you have is to start your work search on your own or contact an agency. That's the only options that you have. You have no other options, okay? So, and that's what I'm trying to do. Believe me, I have my issues with some agencies, okay? Some of them are extremely commission-based. They don't really think about the right skill match, okay? And a lot of them are just really into, making commissions. Now, there are some people, like I spoke with a person a few days ago who helped me with my resume, and I was very grateful to him because, there's a lot of people who don't offer that. They don't offer any improvements. They're just collecting resumes, and they're just working just to be working. I don't know. They don't really think about it. They might think that they can just throw you in any industry or whatever, and sometimes there are certain things when it relates to accounting that you might be lacking in certain things, and they might still insist on putting you there because they don't fully understand it. So, and that's really discouraging. But anyway, my point is I have very limited resources at this point. Right now, I have no income. I have none, okay? My husband doesn't make enough money to really pull everything together. I didn't put myself in this situation. Now, some people might say something along the lines of, well, you lied about your race. Okay, once again, if that's relating to my employment, which I don't have any proof of any application that I ever claimed that I was half white on my application. And anyway, it doesn't matter. My race should never be a determining factor when it comes to employment. Period. Okay, so for that to even be into the work, a decision relating to work is against the law. Also, my relationship with my husband, people are probably interested in wondering, how come I don't talk about my husband? I'm in a community that I was warned several years ago that was, this community is a little different. And I'm mindful of that. I'm not trying to strike up controversy. I'm trying to live my life in peace, and I'm not going to bring up controversial issues. So if people happen to know that I'm married to a white man, well, great. But if it's something I'm not going to bring up, I don't see any reason for me to sit here and bring this up. because it's not, some people aren't comfortable with it. And there are certain areas where, you know, interracial couples can thrive and be happy and comfortable. I'm not saying everyone is going to accept it, but you know what? There's no law against it. And, you know, we are a good couple, and I enjoy him, and we have the right to enjoy our life together. And I think we would probably have a happier life living somewhere else. And so, you know, there are some people who are separatists, you know. I was talking to my husband about this. Some people are racist, but they're separatists, okay? They do realize that people of other races other than theirs have a right to pursue their goals and their happiness. They just don't want to be around them, okay? They would be much happier if they have their own little communities, and they think that they have the right to live, minorities have the right to live, but they don't want them in their communities. I'm not going to argue with that. If that's what these people want, that's fine. Then they need to make sure that that happens. They need to make sure that I have a smooth transition to move on and get out of to get out of this town, you know, and they need to make all the calls that they made and reverse all of it. Because I'm showing cooperation. If you want your town to be all white or have only white people hold certain positions, then fine. I'm respectful of that. Let your town be whatever you want it to be, okay? When in Rome, do as the Romans do, okay? So I'm prepared to do, you know, whatever. If that's not acceptable here, then let me move on. You know, it's that simple. But I need to move on, and I need to continue doing what I was doing. I have a right as an American citizen. I don't have any other skills. I don't have any other skills, okay? I don't have, you know, I don't want to work out in the public, okay? I'm a targeted individual, okay? That is the worst thing you can do to a person who has been traumatized. I need to be enclosed in an office, and I need to work for a company that's going to be respectful of my privacy and not sit here and allow, you know, me to be in toxic environments anymore. I don't want that anymore. Okay, I mean, I shouldn't have to be judged based on stupid things that really don't matter. They don't matter. They don't. They might matter to them. You know, it might matter to them because, you know, maybe people would feel more comfortable if I was half white. But, you know, everybody that I developed some relationships with in this town, who I ever gave my phone number to or went out to lunch with, everybody here knew I was black. So all of a sudden, why all of a sudden after all these years is this coming up and becoming an issue? That's what I don't understand. The only person who really thought of me as biracial at the time when I told them was my husband, and I believe his mother. Okay, anybody else really doesn't know me that way. So everybody knows that I'm black, so I don't understand what the deal is, especially after all these years. So is this just an excuse? I personally think there's a lot of jealous women in this town who, you know, like the girl Selena or whatever her name is, who feels intimidated by me because of the fact that they're just jealous. Maybe I'm a good manager, and I think people get a little annoyed with that. And coming from somebody of color and somebody of my intellectual capacities, being who I am, kind of pisses people off. Okay, that's fine then. So then let me move on with my life, and let's have peace. We can go part in peace. I mean, that's all I'm asking. I mean, I don't want to sit here and be in a group of people where, you know, I'm trying to do my work and they're sitting here evaluating me on things that don't matter. I mean, why would I want to be in a situation like that? I don't need to be in a situation like that. The only person who has the right to judge me and hold that lie that I said many years ago against me is my husband. Now, I know his mother has an issue with it because I know she's a two-faced woman. I don't have any respect for her at all. Okay, I don't. I mean, she was, as a matter of fact, she was one of those people who told me that she was a good Christian and she followed the Bible. Now, when a person tells you that stuff, I now realize that's a lie. Because if they really were good Christians, they wouldn't have to say that. Okay, their life would show it. So she's not fooling anybody, and I don't really care. She doesn't mean anything to me anyway. But you know what? I want to leave her in peace, okay? So I just want to be able to have a smooth transition. I want to be able to get out of this town and move on. You know, get out of town, get established, you know, start working, and then have my husband find a little job that he can do, and then we can be settled. That's all I care about. I don't want to be here. Trust me, I don't. I mean, originally I was willing to stay here, you know, but after a while it's just like, you know what, there really is no point in being here, okay? I need to have a social life. I need to be able to feel comfortable where I am, and it's not going to be here, okay? These people care absolutely nothing about what happens to me. If they're going to give the woman who created a bunch of lies about me another job and sit here and watch me be unemployed, that speaks volumes. It speaks volumes. So I get it. I understand, okay? So what I'm trying to do is cooperate. So if you guys can cooperate with me and make it so that, you know, I will be accepted in other areas so I can get on with my life, since you guys are extremely separatist in your ways, and I'm fine with that. That's your business. That's your thing. You know, please make it a smooth transition so I can move on with my life. That's all I ask of you. So I appreciate you watching my videos, and I think I'm going to wrap this up now. Take care. Bye-bye.